Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening for all over the globe. We are here for our Sun Common Cavity webinar. My name is Sarah Trinka. I'm an engineer here at Sun, and I work in our technical support group.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Fernandez, and I'm responsible for product integration at Sun Hydraulics.
And we are really excited to share with you guys today the new launch of our Sun Common Cavity products. First, some housekeeping. We want to make sure you guys enter in any questions that you have during the presentation. Make sure to enter them in the questions box here throughout the presentation, and we will answer as many as we can at the end. So I wanted to start initially off with talking about our Sun Common Cavity applications. These common cavity valves allow for Sun Hydraulics to get into the scissor lifts, the street sweepers, the forklifts, agriculture, mobile applications that previously Sun was not able to be a part of just due to our standard cavity. I'll start off with taking a moment to go over our Sun standard cavity, our T-whatever-A cavity. They are rated for 5,000 PSI. That 5,000 PSI rating is due to being able to, that high torque, high flow application, and that signature floating nose design that we know on all of our Sun products. With our common cavity products, the design is rigid, and so the sleeve is rigidly threaded into the body, which allows for lower flows, lower torque values, lower pressure ratings, but allows us to get into that SAE style cavity that we all know and love on especially mobile applications.
So Sarah, why have a differentiation? Because we have the Sun Cavity 5,000 PSI product line that can be used at 500 PSI or 3,000 PSI. So why have the differentiation of having these two product lines side by side?
Yeah, we wanted you guys to be able to design in the right valve for the right application and not have to design in a 5,000 PSI valve for something that just might not need it. It allows more economical to install into an aluminum manifold, to be a little bit lighter, lower pressures.
Yeah, so it sounds like the advantages of the Sun T cavity that we've been producing for 52 years now. The advantage of the Sun T-A cavity is high performance, high pressure, floating design, we all know so well. And then the common cavity, the advantage is it's a more economical solution and also interchangeable in the common cavity, which is requested from so many end users out there to have that interchangeability. So it's really cool to have both flavors and be able to use them together.
Yeah. Now when you want to integrate a Sun product into a manifold that already exists, you don't have to worry about changing out your cavity. We have more options for you now. So Dan, could I get you to start off and start introducing some of these really exciting products to us?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. So let's have a look here. The first product I want to introduce to you, I'm going to introduce about 10 products to you guys today. And I want to start off with the DNUC and the DNTC. These are 3-position, 4-way cartridges. These have been out already for about a year. Some more products I'll share today just came out last week, so there's you'll see a lot of new information as well. But I want to make sure you're all aware that the DNUC, that letter U, is a size 10, common cavity, SAE 10. That letter T is the common cavity size 8. So that's actually, two of the most popular common cavity profiles. And they're 4 ports. It's a 3-position 4-way. And of course, it's cartridge valve technology. So when you look at yourself comparing to a C-top valve for a directional control, a C-top valve is typically cast iron. It's a cast iron housing with a sliding spool inside. It's kind of a parts-in-body type design, where this is a 3-position 4-way in a cartridge valve. So that means you can put it into a custom manifold. You can make it into a small, tailor-made manifold for a specific machine. And when you compare it next to a C-top valve has O-rings, at least 4 O-rings between the C-top valve and the valve below. So those are potential leaking points. So with a cartridge, you screw into the manifold and only that uppermost seal, one potential leaking point out to the environment. Then again, size 8 and size 10 type cavity, and there are 4 spool options: open, closed, tandem, center, and A and B to tank. That allows you to use this product in various applications: fixed displacement pump applications, variable displacement pump applications. You can have a closed center to hold that cylinder in place. You can have a tandem center to unload the pump. These are all the center conditions of the 3-position 4-way for use in various applications. You can see on the left some application examples: specialty vehicles, water spraying trucks, street sweepers. A huge, 3-position 4-way is used in a huge variety of applications, as many of you know. Here's one example. I have to share the hydraulic circuit, right? So here's your center condition. This is the closed center version. Energized coil A, and you can flow from 3 to 2. Energized coil B, you'll flow from 3 to 4. So that's kind of the profile of the DNUC and DNTC products. And you can see the 2 different sizes here. If you need a very compact solution, we've got the size 8 DNTC here.
Hey Dan, I see that we have solenoid coils on these. Are these a new solenoid coil that we're introducing?
They are. So these coils are new, and they are specifically designed to power these products.
Okay.
There is some interchangeable with some of our historical coils, but the standard option is a new coil.
Okay.
So you'll see those on the Sun website. You can look up the 779 coil is for the size 10 products, and the 769 is for the size 8 products. And you can see in this hydraulic circuit here on the hydraulic cylinder, we've got our closed center, DNTC, here. And then on the right, for hydraulic motor control, we've got our A and B to tank, DNUC. So just some examples of how some of these might be plumbed in as a 3-position 4-way. I'm going to control the motor clockwise and counterclockwise with my directional control valve. And here I'm going to control my cylinder, extension or retraction. So this is kind of the heart of so many hydraulic systems that this was our first priority to launch in the common cavity family.
Great.
So now, this one is brand new. In fact, if you search this one on the website, you might not see it yet. You'll see it in just about a couple weeks, but it is orderable. It's available today to order. But you'll see that spec sheet arrive just in a couple weeks. So the FNUC it looks just like the DNUC I described on the last slide. It's a 3-position 4-way double coil valve, but it's electro-proportional metering valve. So now I've got a flow control capability. By controlling the current to the coil, I can control how much stroke I'm pushing that spool, how much orifice I'm opening, and that allows me to have fine control with a joystick, with a potentiometer, with a sensor driving the valve. So this is more of the electrified, advanced hydraulic cartridge valve control. It's a size 10, so we can do up to about 7 gallons per minute, 8 gallons per minute. So it's actually at that flow we can serve quite a few applications. And there's 2 spool options on this valve. We've got a closed center and an A and B to tank, 2 of the most popular center conditions. And that can be used in various applications. Finally, I want to share that with proportional control from Sun, what's our proportional driver? What's our proportional controller? It's our XMD. And this is a picture of our XMD here, and an XMD can control 2 solenoids, maximum of 2 solenoids. So it's perfect for the FNUC. 1 XMD driving the control current to both of these coils. It's a very economical solution for electro-proportional flow control and directional control with these 2 products.
Will our customers be able to order the FNUC with the XMD as a package?
Sure, absolutely. We can have it all built into a manifold together. So you can have your manifold, your FNUC, your relief valves and check valves, and your XMD all combined in one part number as a solution. Absolutely.
Great.
And hey, the XMD is configurable by wireless connectivity by your smartphone. So you don't need to buy an additional programmer to set up your FNUC XMD. It's already in most of your pocket. You can just download a free XMD app, connect to the XMD, and configure your min and max flows and your ramps on your FNUC. It's a really nice, compact, rugged solution. This is IP69K. So this is a very rugged solution, and it's used on applications like lifting platforms, mobile machineries that are outside getting under the harsh elements. So here's another application example. We share again a hydraulic motor. Now my FNUC is going to control the throttling, the metering of the flow, basically controlling the RPM of my hydraulic motor to counterclockwise and clockwise directions. And FNUC, same story. I can now extend and retract my cylinder with variable metered flow. Here's the hydraulic symbol here. You got those parallel bars on the top and bottom of the circuit to show that this is a proportional valve. It slides and meters between the positions, not just on-off between the positions. We're really excited about this one because even in the Sun T cavity, we never had a 3-position 4-way direct-acting proportional solenoid valve. So this is actually, the Sun Common product line has actually enabled a new function. Okay, the next one is another new product, PRTS. So a PR is a pressure reducing valve from Sun Hydraulics, and the T is common cavity size 8. So this is a small size 8 cavity, 3-port electro-proportional pressure reducing relieving cartridge using a small 13mm proportional coil. That's a new coil, 769 family. It's actually the same coil used on the on-off valve. And the advantage here is, you know, Sun has had in the T cavity a comparable to a size 10 T11A cavity, high pressure 5,000 psi proportional reducing valve. But this in the common cavity is smaller, it's 3,000 psi, it's much more economical. So this allows us to do proportional control for piloting. You know, typically a hydraulic pilot is limited to about 400 psi or so, or 300 psi. So this is just enough pressure. It can take 3,000 psi on the inlet side, but then it regulates and controls from 0 to 400 psi, or 435 psi. And that allows us to drive pilots to proportionally meter and feather the pilot pressure on hydraulic brakes, on hydraulic valves, on hydraulic clutches, on all different types of hydraulic transmissions or hydraulic systems. And there's another feature here that's kind of new for Sun, is an inlet filter around the cage, around port 2, 280 micron. 280 micron is not very fine. It's not going to filter your main system. It's just to catch any debris that could clog this product. We have that filter there to catch those debris. So here is an example circuit, and an example application is a truck-mounted winch, a hydraulic winch, and we've got load-holding metering valves like our MWEM in the Sun Hydraulics catalog. We've got a variety of products in the T cavity that can control that RPM, but we need to pilot it. We need to pilot that valve with a fine control, proportional, electro-proportional from the joystick. So here comes our pilot pressure, inlet from maybe a pilot pump, or I steal some oil off of the main pump, and I can use this PRTS to control that pilot pressure to this valve and control how much it's throttling. This MWEM is a 30-gallon per minute product. We've got this product in MWIM, 120 gallons per minute. So this little PRTS, this little 1 gallon per minute small pilot valve is going to control, like the pilot in an airplane, my main airplane, my big flow control product. Okay, so this is a nice economical solution. I feel that this product will find its way into many different applications.
I'm really excited about our PRTS that's coming out.
Yep, thanks. Okay, we got some more products. These products have been in the market on Sun's website for about 5 months now. This is our, actually there's one new one in here too, the DMTA. But we've got our DMTA, DMUQ, and DMUT. These are all the same hydraulic circuit. They're all the same hydraulic symbol, the 2-position 3-way. It's a very common on-off solenoid product. So the letter T, remember, is size 8. So this DMTA is a small size 8 product that you can see in the lower left-hand corner. It's the most compact solution. And then the DMUQ and DMUT are the U, that's a size 10. And here's those two products. So what's the difference? The difference is that we've got two different pressure ratings on the size 10 product. We got a 1600 psi and a 3000 psi. Why offer those two? Again, this DMUQ, you know, two-position three-ways are often used for piloting because it can drain and pressurize. In the normal position, it can drain, you energize the solenoid, you pressurize. So that two-position three-way is very popular for that, and the 1600 psi version is meant for pilot circuits, similar to the PRTS that we just explained. This product can be used in the smaller, lower pressure pilot circuits, and it's more economical because we've pulled more of the costs out of it so that it's a 1600 psi product. The DMUT is your more typical 3000 psi common cavity two-position three-way. So if you need the pressure rating, we've got that option in the size 10 cavity. And then the DMTA, the small size 8 valve, we've actually been able to increase that after our durability testing and burst testing that we do in our Sarasota laboratory. We did that analysis, and the DMTA size 8 can go to 3600 psi, a little bit more flexibility for the applications that it can fit into. So an example application, mining trucks, okay? Obviously, these are very high flow devices, but they use pilot circuits to drive a lot of those high flow valves, okay? So for example, one of the functions on a water spraying mining truck is a hydraulic cylinder to open and close the water nozzle. So to open and close that nozzle like your kitchen faucet, you got a hydraulic cylinder, a small one, just a small low pressure system to open and close that nozzle. And we can use our DMTA or our DMUQ or other products, and we can have a pressure reducing valve in there as well to limit the pressure to those nozzles. And like I said before, normally draining to the tank, or a D drain, or energize the solenoid, and we'll send that pressure to the cylinder and lift it up. So again, this product can be applied to so many thousands. I mean, this is the fun part of hydraulics, is we can work on lift trucks and mining machines and street sweepers and so many wide variety of applications, and two-position three-way can be used in so many different. I mean, you work in technical support. Do you see a lot of the two-position three-ways in a variety of applications?
Oh, definitely. A lot of the two-position three-ways. Are these direct acting or are they pilot operated, Dan?
That's a really good point. These are direct acting products, which...
what does that mean?
Yeah, so direct acting is when the solenoid coil is energized. That pushes the armature inside the solenoid tube, and that armature directly touches and pushes the spool.
Okay.
So there's a direct connection between the solenoid force and the spool. So there's a very fast response time. The opposite of direct acting, or the other variant, would be pilot operated. And pilot operated means that my solenoid moves the armature. The armature controls a tiny valve. The tiny valve changes the pressure inside the valve, and then the main piston follows. So it's more of a pilot and a follower. It's slower, typically, maybe about 100 milliseconds, where a direct acting is more about 50 milliseconds. So you get faster speed. Also, the direct acting product is, it does not require a minimum pressure to operate. So if you're pressuring your system on a lubrication system, it's 10 psi, you can't use a pilot-operated valve many times because there's usually a bias spring or something holding the main stage. So a pilot-operated valve, we need to be concerned about the minimum pressure.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, good question. Okay, so the next products that I want to share are more solenoid valves in the common cavity size 10. DLUT, DNUT. DL is our two-way product, and DN is our four-way product. So now that you can see the picture here, we got our two-port and our four-port. And these are, you know, frequently used in a variety of applications. I'll show an example on the next slide. Like, for example, agricultural applications, hydraulic fan reversing with a four-way. You can reverse the fan. With a two-way, you can unload or load a system. But these are 3000 psi, and they also are direct acting construction as well. So here is that example application. Here's your hydraulic motor. That's coupled to a fan. So that's running a cooling fan, and that can be a huge fan that's hydraulically driven. and my pump is supplying pressure to spin that fan, and I've got a proportional relief valve that's actually controlling the torque of that fan. If you control the torque of the fan with this proportional Sun pressure control, now that controls the speed of the fan, because as that fan encounters wind resistance, the torque increases, right? But sometimes I need to reverse the direction of the fan, and that's where a product like the DNUT can come in, energize a solenoid, change the direction, and now you're reversing. And you can always build an algorithm or build a control system where you lower the pressure on the fan to 0, change the direction, then ramp up that pressure again so that you can have a soft stop and a soft start solution on that fan. There's a lot of flexibility in a simple 2-valve circuit like this, which is really helpful. You can also add anti-cavitation check valves as well. Okay, another product that just hit the Sun website last week, RDUA, direct acting relief valve, common cavity size 10. How many direct acting relief valves in the common cavity size 10 do you think there are out there in the marketplace?
If I had a nickel for every time we get a technical call to ask if we have something that's interchangeable in the SAE cavities for relief valve, and it pains me to tell people, I'm sorry, I don't have an option. But now I'm really happy that I don't have to tell our customers that anymore. It's great.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So again, it's a direct acting relief valve. It's common cavity size 10. This one actually is against what we said earlier about the 3,600 PSI, because this product, we've actually designed it to be able to go up to 6,000 PSI. So there's been some engineering in this product so that we can get to higher pressures in the common cavity. So that's one asterisk for this RDUA. And it's got a standard tamper-resistant cap, which is a little bit different from maybe your typical RDDA product. But when you purchase that RDUA, it's going to come with a tamper-resistant cap, and that helps with preventing unintended adjustments there. But you can easily remove that cap with a wrench, and you can go in there and adjust the screw.
When our customers order the RDDA with a cap on it, they usually have to say a specific pressure setting. Do they have to do that for the RDUA as well?
No, this will come standard set with the cap installed, and if you need to change it, you can remove that cap.
Great.
The response time. So direct-acting relief valves, it's always good to remember, if you want to protect your system from pressure spikes, if you want to protect your pump from pressure spikes, that's where you use your direct-acting relief valve, because that'll be your backup, your safety mechanism to clip those pressure spikes and keep the system healthy. Again, we've showed the circuit earlier with our proportional 3-position 4-ways, but now I want to highlight, here's my pump, here's my check valve, and here's my direct-acting relief, which will clip those pressure spikes and keep that system healthy and protect everything. Okay, another product is a CSTT. It's a shuttle valve, a single ball shuttle cartridge, tiny one, size 8, common cavity, 3,000 PSI, 1 drop per minute leakage, very low leakage so that I don't have losses through my shuttle valve. You know, the shuttle valve can be used on a load sense line. The shuttle valve can be used with an 8-gallon per minute flow capacity. That's actually quite a bit of flow I can push through this CSTT. So it can be used in some other functions as well if you want to maybe have some logic in your system. Like for a regeneration system, I've seen shuttle valves like this used before. And then there's a hydraulic circuit here that shows, hey, I've got my 3-position 4-way cartridge to extend and retract my cylinder. And I want to take that pressure from the cylinder and I want to send it back to the load sense line. This load sense line can go to your load sense pump. This can go to your compensator cartridge. This load sense line can be used for various things. You can put a pressure sensor there if you want to know the pressure there. So now I'll know through my shuttle valve what's the pressure on the load sense line.
Great.
That's used on some lift trucks like this service truck here. Okay, and this is actually the last family of products that I'm going to share with you guys that's available now, and that's the CXTA and the CXUT, 2-port check valves. We've got CXTA size 8, CXUT size 10. It's free flow from nose to side. That means port 1 to port 2. Port 2 is on the side, port 1 is on the nose. Size 8 and size 10, the CXUT is a common cavity size 10, 3,000 PSI. The CXTA, the small one, the size 8, we actually were able to rate it to 5,000 PSI. So it can be used in more applications a steel manifold, an aluminum manifold, you know, different applications. And we've got 3 different springs. You know, your anti-cavitation spring, your standard spring, and your high-pressure spring if you need a little bit more resistance on that check valve. And the flow capacity on the size 8 is a smaller valve. It's smaller. It's 10 gallons per minute. On the size 10, it's a 16 gallon per minute. Here's an example circuit again. That's the same circuit I showed before, but I want to highlight right off the pump. I've got this check valve. Many times that's used so that we don't unintentionally spin the pump backwards or forwards. So we want to ensure flow cannot flow back into the pump there. All right, well, Sarah, thank you so much for giving me that 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes there to explain all those products. But if you don't mind, can you share a little bit more about the resources available?
Yeah, of course, Dan. Thanks for sharing those. It's really, really exciting to see new products being launched by us and have common cavity stuff for you guys. So with the common cavity specifications, we have all of these specifications loaded onto our website for you guys to easily download. You don't have to worry about calling or emailing me at technical support or part of our team at technical support for getting these drawings on our website, sunhydraulics.com. In the cavity information area, we have all of these available for you to download. We have our size 8, 2, 3, and 4, as well as our size 10, 2, 3, and 4. So we're really excited to launch these 6 cavities. All the cavities also adhere to ISO 17209, which is the most common ISO standard for cavities out in the industry. So when we created this product line, we wanted to make sure to be able to incorporate into your systems as easily as possible for you guys.
So Sarah, you're saying that the drawing on the screen here, it can be downloaded on the website in English or metric, or I can see that being a really good benefit. Just if you want to quality check a manifold that maybe was cut in the field or by a third-party manufacturer, and this specification is a new design from Sun. We just worked on this in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So we've designed all new cavities, but they're all compliant to that ISO 17209.
Yep, we have them available PDF, DWG, DXG, whatever format's easiest for you, as well as in metric and in inches for you guys to be easy as possible.
Cool.
We also have new manifolds being launched. We have line mount manifolds that are searchable on our website. The star represents various different fitting sizes for your different ports. They're completely searchable now on our website under the cavity. When you filter under the cavity that you want, you'll see these products pop up. We also have our W62 and W72 C-top DO3 launch for our 4-ways. So those 4-ways will be able to integrate on top of your stack, take your old one off, put our new great one on, and so we're excited to launch those as well.
Sarah, I checked the website this morning, and when I clicked on manifolds and I filtered all these SC, Sun Common cavities, I saw there were about more than 60 options. So there's SAE ports, BSPP ports, NPT port, whatever kind of line mount manifold you need, it's there.
Yep, we used our Sun. We try and give you guys as many options as possible, and so we stayed committed to that with this line as well.
Awesome.
So we know not everyone buys a manifold. Sometimes they make their own, and that's really great. And so we wanted to be able to offer cavity tooling like we have for all of our Sun standard cavities. We wanted to do the same thing for our Sun Common cavity products. So we have under cavity tooling and accessories. We show the 3 easy to make easy to drill products. We have your form drill, your reamer, and your tap, all in one package that you can see easily on the website as you go into to be able to make these cavities on your own. So simple 3-operation process. If you don't want to do a pre-drill, we try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to integrate these into your new manifolds.
Awesome. So I wanted to share a couple more things before we finish our main content here. So if you guys have questions, we've only got 2 more slides ahead of us. So if you guys had any questions, please write in the chat, and we'll get to those questions at the end of the webinar here. And we'll answer as many of them as we can. But I have 2 more slides I really am excited to share. And the first one is QuickDesign. I love QuickDesign. We all love QuickDesign. It's a wonderful tool. It's QuickDesign.sunhydraulics.com. It's free to everyone in the world. You can log on build a username and password, and you can sign up, sign in, and it's all cloud-based. It's all web-based. So anywhere you are, if you're at the airport, if you're at your office, if you're home, if you're on the road, hopefully not driving, but in the passengers, you can sign into QuickDesign and draw a hydraulic circuit. And it's a very professional hydraulic circuit designer, so that you can make a very nice circuit using the Sun Hydraulics catalog, which includes Sun Cavity, 5,000 PSI, and common cavity products, all in QuickDesign. You can just, with the click of a button, you can actually make a title block. Click another button, you got your bill of materials. Click another button, you've got your port list. It's all populated with model numbers and settings and your name and the project name and the customer name. And it's got everything here so that you can make really professional circuits easily. And then when you're ready to go, when you're happy with the circuit design, you've worked it out with your colleagues, and you say, hey, I want to move forward with this manifold solution, you can click Quick Design, and a computer algorithm will design the manifold. You don't need any AutoCAD experience. You don't need SolidWorks. You don't need any other type of 3D modeling platform. A computer algorithm will design the manifold and send it to you by email in 2D drawings and 3D drawings, so that you can see, hey, how is my cartridge valve manifold looking? What's the size? You can drop it into your 3D models and put it in there. So, you know, and instantly the Sun local distributor has a quotation in their hand so they can quote immediately. So this just really optimizes the path from an idea of what I want to do with a cartridge valve manifold into a real design and commercial information. So this is exciting, and now with common cavity in here as well, we can mix and match Sun Cavity, common cavity, and make the best solution for a wide variety of applications. And here, last but not least, we shared, like I said, about 10, 12 products today that are available now, but there's more coming. We're working to fill our common cavity portfolio so that we can have a wide variety of products to fit your guys' needs. So please subscribe to the Sun newsletter, and you will get directly emailed when those common cavity products launch, or when the Sun, because we're still working on Sun T-Cavity, high-performance, innovative products. Those are still coming out very frequently. So if you want to hear about those products, please put your email into this e-newsletter, and you'll get signed up. Keep your eye open on the website. We have our highlights. Our highlights are the Jumbotron front page image on our website. We always promote things there. You can see here, universal solutions for unique applications. That's some of what we talked about today. And then follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, so you can follow us there. And then contact your distributor. If you don't know who your distributor is in your local area, you can click this link at the top of the page, where to buy, and you'll find their contact information, a key contact person in that company, their phone number, their address, and email address. So, you know, our local distributors for Sun are doing a great job in designing and providing engineered solutions so you can work directly with them. So, again, thank you all very much.
Yes. We've got some really great questions, Dan.
We do?
Yes.
All right.
First question, do the new manifolds, do they come in steel and aluminum?
Yes. It's going to have the same nomenclature that you're familiar with. The three-letter body, we call it. It's 3 letters. So if you add a /S to the model number, that would be a ductile iron manifold. So you can have your 350 bar, 5,000 PSI. You can have your 210 bar, 3,000 PSI solution in that manifold.
Great.
It's all ready to go.
Awesome. So we have some great questions about the coils. What do we have? In our current Sun coils, we have Deutsch, DIN. Are we going to offer that same thing in these new coils?
Yes, so I mentioned 3 different, there's actually, let's take a look at this picture right here. If you guys can see the screen, we've got a new 13 millimeter coil, and that's available in, sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
We've got our DIN, we've got a Deutsch connector in the picture. We've also got a DIN connector. And then we've also got, these are actually all Deutsch connectors, so that's a good question. Mm-hmm. Somebody might have said, hey, look, these are all Deutsch connectors. We actually have DIN connector available as well. On these black coils, we actually have twin lead available as well. And then in terms of voltages, we have 12 volt and 24 volt DC available. And if AC voltage is required, we do have a solution, and I would say contact Sun, and we can work that out together.
Awesome.
Because it's not in the catalog, but we do have a solution for AC voltage.
Well, you answered questions without even knowing that they were there. What about orientation? We show them kind of lined up. Does that matter?
Okay, so rotationally, of course, it doesn't matter. These coils are just like your other Sun coils, where you can rotate them freely. It's an electromagnet. It's not rigidly connected to the armature. It's not rigidly connected to the solenoid tube. So you can rotate them freely, and you can flip them upside down, turn them on their head, and it works the same, because actually the magnetic poles, north and south, are not fixed. It's when you rotate the coil, the north and south pole finds its own polarity. So when you energize that coil, it's always going to push in the correct direction. It's not going to change directions. You can even reverse the wires, and it will also power that solenoid. So
that's great.
Good question.
I think that's all the time we have for questions today.
Okay.
Anything that we haven't answered for you guys today, if you've submitted a question, we will contact you via email to answer your question. We haven't forgotten about you. We promise. We just want to we don't want to take up any more of your time today. It's been such a pleasure talking with you guys and introducing this really exciting line to you. And we're really excited at Sun. It's a great opportunity.
Thanks, everybody.